Well, hey guys, how's everybody doing today? Michael here with Primal and Leatherworks, and I've got a new product for you today. This is just completed. This is a redo of the Celtic Bushcrafter that I have on my website. The original one that I did, a client came in during the build, liked where I was going with it, and suggested some adjustments that he wanted to have made for it, because he was actually going to use it for some reenacting type of stuff that he does. I never had the opportunity. I got really busy this summer and wanted to go back and actually rebuild it the original way that it was intended, which is what you see right here. Still same basic concept. I have wood, leather, and antler, as well as a nice effective little blade here, and a stitched sheath. Or I'm sorry, actually a laced sheath. One of the things that I wanted to point out about this knife right up front, because most people are going to notice, when you look down right here on either side, you're going to see that it is not perfectly oval. It is not intended to be oval. I shaved a lot of stuff off of the antler in order to get it to that smooth area, but I still wanted to leave some of the irregular shape. So if you look down here and you see it and it doesn't look level, it doesn't look perfect, doesn't match, that is an intentional aesthetic part of the piece. This is supposed to be a rustic throwback to the old Nordic style bushcrafting knives. Kind of my take on it. It's not an exact replica. It's not supposed to be an exact replica. I just saw a lot of pictures and was inspired by it. It does have pretty much a hidden tang. The tang runs all the way to right about here on the blade. It's right about here on the blade, and it's about a ½ inch wide. It's a relatively wide tang on there. Additionally, what I've got, it is made from cocobolo wood, stacked leather, deer antler, another piece of leather, and then a thin piece of brass. Just really trying to do something that was going to be nice, effective, usable tool. It's made from 1084 high carbon steel. I've got a bit of a Scandi grind on here. There's a slight secondary bevel, just to kind of give it a little bit of a effective edge. And really, at the end of the day, I think this came out fantastic. I took a lot of time, a lot of care to make sure everything that's on here is on here as it's supposed to be. I did not try to get all of the little imperfections out of the steel. As most of you, or a lot of you know, I am not a fan of a mirror finish. I don't think there's anything wrong with a mirror finish. It's just not my favorite finish. It's something that requires a lot of work to maintain. Every little scratch and ding is going to show from a mile away, and it's, sometimes it can be a bit of a pain to keep that finish the way it is. I went through and I put a satin finish on here. And if you checked out the other video, you understand exactly how I put my satin finishes on. I bring it to a mirror finish, and then I remove the luster and apply the satin finish. I think it gives it a better undercoat, and I just like that look. I like it. The cocobolo handle I think came out beautiful. I really, really like it. It is just a fantastic bit of wood to work with. Fits in your hand very well. There's a slight little indentation that is right here so that your pinky can get in there and really grip onto the handle. It's got a bit of a swell right here, and I was kind of limited to how much I could take off because I didn't want to go too deep on the bone. If you know, rather the antler, and if you know antler, you understand why. It gets soft underneath here, and it swells in and comes down, which really feels really good in the hand. I feel like I've got a good grip on here, it just feels good in the hand. I really like it. I thought about taking it down a little bit thinner, but I don't know. The more I kept holding it, the more I kept moving it around. I like the handle like this. And again, my motto is, you can always take it away. You can't put it back. So if you're watching this video and you like this knife and you're interested in this knife, the buying information will be down in the description below. Please go check it out, and just know that if you find the handle's a little bit too big, you can always, you've got room to work inside here. Again, At the top, probably not so much because you know, you're kind of limited with the deer antler. You can probably go down a little bit, but I wouldn't push it too much further. It came out very well, like I said. I'm very happy with the final result. What I'm also happy with is I took a bit of a different direction on the sheath. The laced sheath that I built the first time around used wide lacing, which for the reenacting situation or for that really rustic aesthetic look came out perfect and looks fantastic. This, however, I wanted to go with something that was a little bit more rustic and elegant at the same time, or clean, I guess you could say. I went with a mahogany finish on here. It probably looks black on the camera. And I got a nice even coat. I have put multiple coats of conditioner on this thing, waxed it in some of the areas. I didn't put a hard wax finish on here, just around the seams. Nice size drain hole in the bottom, so you don't have to worry about if water gets in there that it's going to stay. The lacing, I'd like to point out for those of you who don't follow me on Instagram, I really posted a lot of builds through this process. The end in here is burnished. I burnished it before I laced it. Somebody asked me why would I bother to go through doing that if it's going to be hidden with the lace. It's those added touches that make a difference, you know, between a good sheath and what, in my opinion, is a great sheath. I'm not a master leather worker, but I do know how to work leather, and I think personally I have no apprehensions about saying this is probably one of the best sheaths I've done in a while. I also do not drill out the holes here. I know a lot of people do that, and again, I don't say that there's anything wrong with that, but I've seen multiple sources where the recommended procedure is to use the awl. The reason being is that when you use an awl, you are boring through the fibers of the leather, and after you're done, all the fibers are still there. You're not removing any material or burnishing any material, and once the leather starts to relax, it'll actually grab either the artificial sinew or in this case the lacing again and really lock it in place. I've seen leather sheaths in the past that were put together where a Dremel was used. At some point in time the lacing may break or wear loose or get cut loose, and you can unravel it, because essentially what's happening is, just like you burnish the edge over here, that's the result of moisture and heat being generated when you run your tool over it. When you run a drill through it, essentially you're doing the same thing. That drill is spinning at a massive RPM compared to what this leather can take, and essentially you're boring a hole in there. So you have created a permanent hole that, although will probably relax some, it won't relax quite as much as when you use an awl to push through the leather. It's just a preferred procedure that I have. I'm not knocking anybody that doesn't do it. I'm just telling you why I do it and what my logic is. Again, you know, a lot of people, when they finish on the leather sheaths, they go in and, you know, they'll burn the edges off or just leave them hanging in there. I don't know if you can see this. I actually backlaced it. Let me see if I can get it on camera. Hold on. Yeah, so I added a little bit more light on the subject, and hopefully you saw that. I did go through and backlace the stitches and hid the ends, so you will not see any end stitching in here or any, you know, melted sinew or anything like that. I think it just looks neater, you know, folding the lace away, and it's not going anywhere. Additionally, on the sheath that I want to point out, you know, this is stitched in the back here with artificial sinew. I did not use lacing. I just didn't feel it was necessary to use the lacing in the back. And on the other side and in the inside, it is lined in this area in order to protect the blade, because I take a little added protection with the lacing on the inside, and use some adhesive in there so that the lacing, should anything happen to it, it's really not going to unravel back here, because I do concern myself about that when I see lacing or sinew. I think I keep calling this lacing. But it is lined behind it, so nothing's going to happen to the blade or anything like that, or especially the blade possibly nicking or cutting. So this is actually protected inside the sheath. You're not going to cut through anything with the knife blade. So if anybody sees that and freaks out, there is a layer of protection. Really happy with the way this turned out. I used 2 levels of grooves in here. I just like the grooves. I think they look good. Nice clean line going all the way across. You cannot see it, but I know it's there. This groove goes all the way across, all the way behind, and even on the underside over here. I put it on there. I knew in advance it was going to be hidden, but it's just one of those things where I know it's there, and it just is an extra added touch. Oh, one thing I do want to point out, I am going to go out of my way and say this, because I know a lot of people like to show their stuff, and they're real quick with it, and really there's not a lot of time. I'm not saying that to knock anybody. We have no choice but to be quick. We can't have a 45-minute video up here, but I didn't want to forget this stitch groove right here, which is what that's called. The holes that were bored through here with the awl go all the way through, and they match up perfectly with the stitching groove on the other side. I had one instance where it came off just a hair, but barely. Outside of that, all these holes line up perfect, so it's clean. It looks good on both sides, front and back. It is a friction fit, right-handed sheath, not right-handy. So it puts it in like that. It puts it in the sheath, and it's not going anywhere. This thing is in there, no doubt about it. Great little knife. This will be available relatively soon. If you are on my mailing list, you are going to get an early bird email to let you know when it's going to become available. Plus, you're going to have an opportunity to take advantage of the offers that I always put if you're part of my mailing list. So if you're not signed up, there'll be a link for that also in the description below. So look out for that and go ahead and subscribe to it. So when this comes available, you'll know exactly when it's going to come on the market. So if you want to jump on it, you can jump on it right then and there. Or if you want to take advantage of the offer in there, you can absolutely do that as well. Keychains. I'm getting a lot of requests about the keychain ferro rods that I'm making. They're gone. They are sold out, and I'd like to thank everybody that reached out to me and asked me for the keychains. I really, really appreciate it. It just meant the world to me. I was making, while I had them in stock, just some other minis. You know, these are just minis. This is you know, just churned wood, brass, and cherry. This is cedar. This is cedar. No, yeah, both of these are cherry. Both of these are cherry. And this one is just a little bullet. I still have this one in stock, and I've got this one, which is this is not turned to a perfect dimension. It's left gnarly on purpose. And I still have these two bigger ones in stock. Prices are going to be on the website for this, so pop on over to the website if you're interested in the Fire Steel minis. These are going to run you like right around. These aren't the keychains; these are just the minis. I think these are going to be $11.95, maybe $9.95. Don't quote me. Go to the website; I'll have it on there. I just don't have it in front of me. As always, guys, I appreciate your views, your comments. Go over to the website. Links at the end of the video, like everything else. Don't forget to sign on for the adventure blog. I'm not one of those guys that's going to bombard your inbox with a bunch of updates. I do them every once in a while. I'd rather be somebody that pops in and that you take a look at. I don't want to get on your nerves with a bunch of emails in your inbox. So just sign up for the adventure blog, sign up for the email listing so you can take advantage of the offers that are coming out there. Jump on over to the website to confirm the prices on these items right here. I apologize that I don't have them with me. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. If you haven't subscribed yet, please don't forget to subscribe. It is currently Saturday, August 30th, and I will tell you that starting Monday, my order books will be open again. Actually, Tuesday. I want the day off on Monday. See, I've been working all week. That's what dyes all over my hands. The order books, if you have an interest in one of the knives that are on the website, I can definitely jump on that for you immediately. If you have a custom design or an idea that you've always wanted to put down, definitely give me a call and I can try and help you out. Information, again, is on the website. You can reach me through there or leave a comment here down below and I'll reach out to you through Google Plus if you'd prefer. And you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy your Labor Day, and by all means, get out in the woods. Thanks. I'll see you in the woods.